welcome to Flory Models Daily Vlog. Here we are on Wednesday the 21st of June 2016 and not a lot today. Well, actually I've done a load of stuff today, but nothing that really I can show you. But anyway, my day started like this. Okay, and good morning. Welcome to the daily vlog. To be honest, lots running around this morning. The roofers are finishing touches. Literally, they are clearing up, and they've been sweeping, hoovering, or whatever it is they all do out there. So they are literally banging and crashing around. So I haven't done anything this morning, just catching up on paperwork, all the boring stuff. I have all your entries here. This is the list for everything, for everybody who's done a group build. For the actual one, I Must Be an Animal finished. So what I've got to do now is come and categorise you, get you alphabetically sorted up. I'm going to be shooting you out your emails for your addresses and all your bits and pieces probably well, not tomorrow, I'm not here tomorrow, I'll probably do it Friday. Going to have a good catch-up day on Friday and go through like that. The last of your kits are going out as well, got to do that. Got to speak to the guys who actually make your medals, thinking about it. They have been given all the details, but they need to know the final count, so we've got to count it out. I think we worked out as 172 if you complete, which actually makes it one of our most successful group builds. I think we've had more. We had 200 odd finish on one of them a couple of years back. But that was a really, really good one. And looking forward definitely to the I Must Be Japanese one that's starting very, very soon. I've got some great ideas for that, and I've got some other bits and pieces coming in. Anyway, so I'm going to be spending the next morning going through this, categorising it, checking your entries. I'm sure they're all fine, but I have to go through them and everything else like that. So I'm going to have a good look around with those. I'm going to get the photos taken off of those as I'm having a look around, and we're going to be then putting them to our giant montage video. Because we've got so many entries in here, and we don't want obviously going it on forever and ever and ever, we are going to be limited to 2. So what I'm going to do is I'll pick what I think are your best 2 overall photos to show. I know some of you have said in the past, well, I preferred you to use the other photos. I always say, always make your favourite the first photo, because I will always use that one, then I'll pick another one. So if it's an angle, for instance, if you're doing a model, and you got something like this, you know, it's always nice to have a nice sort of overall 3/4 and then one from the back side. Okay, so it's nice pretty much all angles. So if you're coming down sort of around about, I would say a 30-degree angle is a nice one, or sort of 45 degrees, something in like that. Okay, and then from both sides, it gives the viewer a good idea of an overall representation. Okay, and then what we can do is people then can come in and see more photos in the forum and all the bits and pieces as they want to. All right, so there we go. That's it for this morning. I'm going to crack on with these, and I'll catch you all at lunchtime. Yeah, so as you say, a bit of a funny day. To be honest, I couldn't really do the lunchtime bit because the roofers and the builders and everything else were finishing. So obviously they wanted paying, boring things like that, paperwork side of it and all of those things. But they have finished, I have to say, fantastic guys. There's only 3 of them, well, sometimes 6, but mainly with the first 3 that are here with us all the time. Done a great job. Roof is now completely brand new. So we shouldn't have any more problems with that. That's it. That's the last major job. No more builders, workmen, or anything else around, or anything else like that. So technically, tomorrow I can get on, but I'm not here. So I'm away tomorrow, actually having the day off for going to go and see some relatives over in Weymouth for the day. And then we're back on Friday. So on Friday, I will do a couple of reviews for you, a couple of bits and pieces. I've got some little ones as well. So what I'll probably do is a kit review of something. And then, because I've got loads of kits to get through, we might do the Ron's Vickers we were speaking about, but I've got some aftermarket bits and pieces as well I want to speak about, so we're going to crack on with those. So up today, you've got part 6 of the Osprey. Now this is going to cover doing the weathering, and I know a lot of people have said, oh look, the weathering looks fantastic, how did you do it? Honestly, because I knew I was running out of time with the roofers here and all the rest of it, I did quite a simple weathering job on this one. So literally it's a clay wash, which is the Flory Models Dark Dirt wash right the way over it, and then went literally over that with the grime wash in specific areas, which we talk about. Then I blended AK's enamel weathering washes with the clay, which is something that works really well. You can actually mix them together to give you other effects, because then you get best of both worlds. You get the tone differences because you've got the slight shininess and all the bits and pieces that you're going to get off the enamels, and the sort of, you know, the silkiness of it mixed in with the harshness of the wash, okay, and everything else. So it works really, really well together. Then we just went around a little bit of post work, as I call it. So we actually used the wash as like a filter over panels to change panel colours and all the rest of it. So anyway, that one is completed up on the site now. There is a final part to it. We're going to talk about all the little pieces, showing about doing clear glass work, unmasking, and all the final parts going on to it, but that's going to get you up to speed on that. So you can go off and watch that one on the site right now. Now, I've also today been going through everybody's bits and pieces for your group build. Well done to everybody for that one. As I said, probably going to be Monday or Tuesday before I can actually get on with it. Might do a little bit over the weekend, trying to put the video together, because I say we've got 172 completed, valid, well done, amazing builds that were done for the group build. And what was amazing was when I was going through it, because to be honest, I've got them all down in here. And you've all got a little tick on here as well saying that I've seen it and all the rest of it. And I was having a look at your work at processes as well. Work in progress, going through all of those and various bits and pieces. I have to say there's absolutely stunning work in there. But also what's nice, what a lot of you don't know, is I've been right the way through your profiles on the site as well. Yes, everybody on here. And out of that 172, I think it's 150 odd individual people took part in the group build, so well done to everyone. But the thing is, I went through just to get a little bit of feedback today. So I spent a morning going around the forum, behind the scenes, looking through your profiles, looking through your work, what you tend to look at, what you don't look at, and all your bits and pieces. And what I find really nice is loads of you, the first time you'd ever put anything onto the forum has been through the group build. So you've actually put in there a work in progress thread, and you've been talking and sort of meeting the guys and all the bits and pieces, and obviously being inspired by the others as well. But it was amazing how much I click on your work and I go through what you've done, and literally the only thing you've posted up as in starting threads has been for these particular group builds and things like that. So it's really nice to see that, and as I said, it's quite a warming moment. You think, oh bless, first one in there and all the rest of it. So anyway, the standard is through the roof, and I'm glad I'm not judging it. As you know, because I was asked last night about a winner and things like that, we don't have winners here. And I know it sounds, you know, politically correct and all the rest of it. Honestly, it's not done like that. Everybody's a winner. Everybody wins a prize, you know, and by the time we put it together, the funding, if you like, for each thing is usually around about £12 per one that goes out. I've got 152 of them to go out. Okay, so, you know, you can do the maths. So from that point of view, we don't actually have, you know, a prize first, second, because everybody's a winner. So we literally spread that sort of £2,000 prize fund amongst everybody. Okay, so that's how it's actually going to work with it. So obviously what you're going to get is stickers, badges, the medal obviously itself, and all the bits and pieces like that, plus a set of sounding sticks in there as well. Okay, so it'll be a random one from the thing, whatever the, you know, I can grab, get my hands on off the sales team, and all the rest of it like that. So congratulations. The usual thing, what I do is, we tried it last time and I had loads of people saying, well, you know, it didn't get my address and all the rest of it because I asked you to send me the address and people didn't, and then I got a bit of earache over it. So what I will do is I will email everybody again. I'll shoot out one to everybody saying, please send it to me. Usual thing, if I can have your name and address and your country with your postcode or your zip code in one lump. That way I can literally copy and paste it over to our sort of paper system, which puts the letter with it and all the bits and pieces like that. Okay, but don't send it to me now, because what happens is it just comes into me and it gets lost amongst all the other questions and bits and pieces, and that tends what to happen. But you know, if I do it that way, the header bar will go into a separate folder and I've got everybody as a separate, and we can do it just like that. Anyway, so yes, well done to everybody for that. Speaking of which, this is why these guys are here. Obviously we've got coming up the British armour, heavy armour SIG, which is starting. Now basically with this particular SIG, it's anything, but it has to be British origin and in British markings. Okay, I have clarified with Steve, if you're watching the Q&A, because somebody said, what about UN stuff? Trust me, if it's got a British number plate on it, like these types of guys have all got on here, then it counts. Okay, so it doesn't matter what markings it's in, as long as it is in British service. It can't be a concept, it can't be a prototype, it has to be, but it can be anything from World War I presume, to modern. Okay, so I want to do a chieftain. Now I was privileged enough a couple of years ago to drive one of these. It killed my legs. Trust me, it's not designed for somebody who's 6'4", being in the driver's seat of these things. Plus the fact trying to find a gear is like, it's like a mystical, you know, soup, and you tend to just flick around with your feet and hopefully find a gear. Anyway, a great time with it, but I'd like to actually build one now. So the big thing is, it's up to you guys now to see exactly which one we're going to build. So let me know the options. Obviously we've got up here, we've got the Mark 11, we've got the Mark 10. If we do the Mark 10, I will be doing it in the Berlin markings, like this one, for the sort of, you know, urban camo. I do like it, I will be going with that. The rest of them, I will probably do it out of the box, as you can see. So this is sort of giving you the options of the weathering as well, of how it's going to be. So if you want it in the Berlin markings, go for the Mark 10. If you want to go with the Chieftain Mark 11, 11, then obviously in this type of markings, then we're going to go for that one. If you want the Mark 5 in the more sort of sandy colours all over, then obviously hit that one right up. Or you want the more sort of traditional two-tone green, you know, then obviously go with the Mark 2. But that is your options, because that is Tackham set. And yes, I won't move them because they're going to fall over on the Osprey as it is, but they all rattle lovely because none of them have got the bags where they all split open and all the rest of it. But that is going to be my entry. So I will probably start that, to be honest, as soon as I get back off of holiday with Snap, because don't forget we're away from Friday the 1st, and then we actually get back on the 11th, okay? So for that one, on the Monday of being reopened, although obviously I'll be back at the weekend. All right, so I will post up a poll underneath this particular show today, okay, and that will be for the call out. So you can either do Mark 2, Mark 5, Mark 10, Mark 11, and then I'm going to crack on with that one. Pretty much going to be straight out of the box. No, I'm not going to be changing the tracks. Yes, I did get that wrong, okay, but I'm going to sort of persevere. I may get hold of an aftermarket set of floor tracks for it. Never used them. Keep putting them off. They seem a lot of work. I'll throw myself in. Okay, I will do a set of tracks. So if anyone's got a set of tracks they want to sell me, I'll put a set of tracks on it, okay? But apart from that, it's going to be completely out of the box. Usual thing though, we go to town with the weathering and everything else like that. So, the only thing I have got here, I've got a knife. Sorry, I need to find a knife. Need a big knife for this one. I had a delivery turn up today, and the thing is, I know what it is. But I haven't actually opened it yet. And this is a question that keeps coming up time and time and time again. So what I've done is I've gone out, if I can get into it. I see what they've done, right? Okay. And I have bought some of this. Now, this is where it all gets a bit confusing and why I'm trying to put this to bed once and for all. I've got some of, guess what it is yet? This. Now this literally has just come in today. Me and Steve were doing the, I think it was Q&A or a live show or something else. And I ordered this in from the States. Wasn't cheap, if I'm honest. And it cost a funny cap on it. Do all American things have this type of thing on? Don't know. Anyway, this is Pledge Floor Care. Now, this is where it's all getting really confusing, because if you remember, we had the original one, which, funny enough, looks like that. Okay, then we had the milky one, which looks like, you grab it, that. Okay, so that's when it all fell apart here in the UK because they went down that route. Now they've brought out another one, which is like in a yellowy thing, and now they've brought out a new one, and there's a rumour going around that it's clear, and they've gone back to doing this as well. Okay, but what I wanted to know is this stuff exactly the same as the old stuff now? Because this does say multi-surface flying 22 times more shiny and all the rest of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in bottles of the other new stuff allegedly, and we're going to have a clear trick again of going right the way through all the lot of it. Now this wasn't cheap, so don't think this is me going back on what I was saying about clear's overpriced and all the rest of it, because this one cost me £12.50 to get it shipped, because it's quite heavy, to be honest, to the UK from the US. All right, but I thought it would be quite interesting to go down the future route just to see how good this stuff is. And looking at it, it looks just like the stuff we used to get over here in the UK. So if this is going to be making its way over to the UK, we'll be off again and back up and singing and dancing. But it looks thick, where this stuff always looked really thin and milky. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the blue top, or the blue version of this now, in, so it's white with the blue top and everything else. And what we're going to do is compare all the futures and all the bits and pieces in a couple of weeks' time. But as I say, that one literally turned up today, so quite interesting. I might start to just give it a go, see what it's like, see if it's any good. The whole point of this, before everyone starts jumping on the future thing, it was supposed to be a cheap replacement for gloss. Quick drying, no problem, and acrylic gloss. If you're paying almost 15 quid a bottle like I've just paid for this, I wouldn't bother. I'd just go and use an artist's acrylic because it's cheaper and it won't yellow and it'll be a lot better. So this was always supposed to be cheap, but if this is the new one that's coming around now and is only going to be £5 a bottle and all the rest of it, it should be quite good value. Okay, and we can go back down using the clear route again. Anyway, that has literally just turned up in the last sort of half an hour, so I thought we'd include it in today's show. So obviously there's nothing from me tomorrow, so don't think there's any vlogs, videos and all the rest of it. I'll still get people saying, no show today, Phil. But honestly, there's not tomorrow. I'm having a complete day off, all right? So I'll be back with you doing the vlog in the morning on Friday, and then obviously we're going to do a couple of reviews, and then obviously we're going to be looking around at your work again and some of your work builds as well in the actual forum, because I tend to have a good look around there and everything else like that. So don't forget, hit me up on exactly which one you want to see me build in the Armour one for the upcoming Armour one. I am going to be doing the Gundam kit on the 1st of July when that one comes round. We're going to be starting on that one, and then obviously we've got that Mitsubishi F1 as well for the big group build when that one starts as well. I'm going to be throwing myself in with those. Okay, so lots to look forward to on that one. But in the meantime, obviously this week and next week you've got the Osprey, and then next week as well I'm going to be doing the prop set, hopefully the undercarriage and the gun deck, so all those individual components that we've got for the FW190, so that'll give you something to watch when I'm away as well. So that's the plan anyway. So there we go, that's it from me today. Happy modelling, take care.